Thank you. This is episode 10.
Episode 10. We've done 10 episodes.
That's
what you
kind of
said.
crazy. Kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
Or just me? Because
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You're
here.
feeling yourself.
Yeah, I'm feeling something. Something is going on.
Yeah, it feels great. And
episode 10, we're talking about Raw. The
Yeah.
French-Belgian co-production.
cannibalism movie.
Yeah, which is has gotten this reputation of people puking and stuff while watching it.
Yeah.
Which I think you have a story to tell.
I have
There.
an easy story to tell, which is basically that when Raw first came out, which it was in 2016.
Yeah.
I was at the Gothenburg Film Festival with my community college, watching movies at the festival, and I heard about Raw, which wasn't one of my first choices that I had bought tickets for, but one of my friends were like, "Hey, we gotta go see Raw. It seems cool." Basically,
Seems crazy.
seems
Fucking
weird.
nuts.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, well, I can watch a weird movie, sure. And we get into the theater, and I was not actually aware of how fucked up this movie was. So I was in for a treat.
Yeah.
And when shit started happening on the screen, we actually had someone faint in front of us. We had heard about people, we had heard about people puking and fainting and screaming and stuff, but basically this was mostly about people being shocked and one person fainting or something.
Yeah, and it's not just about the gore.
No,
it's that's the the beautiful thing about it. It's about much more, and it's really.
It has a very deep story.
Yeah, it actually has, and I think that makes it a great film.
Yeah.
So, quick, what happened? What is this movie about? First of all, it's the director's name, Julia Ducournau, and it's her first feature.
What?
Which is crazy.
You're shitting me.
No, I'm not kidding. This is her debut feature.
This is her first movie?
Yeah, well, she made a short film who won a short film award in Cannes, which is crazy as well.
Yeah.
Called Junior, which I really want to see it with you.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think it's also kind of crazy.
I think we talked about having a short film month later on, so that we can do. I think maybe we didn't. Maybe this was my idea.
I like the idea. It's okay. Because I have a couple of. It can be directors and their short films and stuff like that.
I figured something like that.
And talking about how you can see what they have become later.
Yeah.
Or
But I also figured we could do amateur filmmakers short films. That could be interesting.
People in our surroundings.
Sure. I was mostly thinking about finding a theme on YouTube and watching 4 or 5 short films and doing a short, very 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 short review on everyone, in a big review or something.
Yeah, it sounds, and this is where we have our creative talks.
We'll get back to it.
It's good. So shortly, this movie follows a young girl that is just gonna start a veterinary college.
Yeah, university.
And she is vegetarian, and when you're a freshman at a college, you have all these initial rituals and stuff.
Yeah.
Weird stuff happening, and in this case, it's really bizarre. So she goes through a lot of bizarre shit, and one of those things that she has to do is eat a raw
rabbit's heart.
Yeah, I think it was kidney.
Liver.
Liver. Yeah. We'll meet at the.
She has to eat intestines, and she's a vegetarian. That's fucked up.
And
conclusion.
Stuff happens. You should see the movie, but stuff happens, and she realizes that she has this weird kind of
kink.
I guess in some cases.
No, it's not a kink. It's not a kink. I just find it funny to say that. But
well, what is it called? When you have a taste for something.
Yeah, she
discovers that she
has a taste for blood. She has a taste for.
Yeah, let's say it. Well, it's about cannibalism, so it's.
She has a taste for her own family.
Yeah, which is super weird, but it's made in such a great way that it's. I don't know. I feel like that movie is really psychological.
I think we're jumping ahead a bit of time as well, because one thing that I think is important to bring up is that when she gets to university, we also meet her sister, who is also enrolled at the same university in the same, like, she's also in I was about to say vegetarian college. I mean veterinarian college, like
whatever, people doing not stuff with animals.
Yeah, but basically, so like this movie has a very cool psychological theme, which also shows a lot in the pictures, which shows a lot in the coloring and the grading and everything. But basically, it takes you a pretty long while to see that, because you are introduced. I'm very tired today. I'm very we're introduced with the main character being very uncomfortable with the whole, like, the introduction weeks at school with all the rituals and all the pranks and everything, and that everything that has to do with doing weird things to animals, which you shouldn't be doing at veterinarian college, I guess, is making her...
You shouldn't be doing anywhere, I guess.
No, but it's like you figured it wouldn't be happening there.
Yeah, and what you're getting at, that this movie is kind of a like coming to age story, which is also cool, because it's not about like the horror thing, which is like a main piece of it, but I think in a way it's like it's taking that and it's working really fine with, she's trying to like know who she is, or be comfortable,
learn who she is, and to find out, like, is this what I want to do with my life, because her entire family is veterinarians, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, and I think her mother also went to that school.
Yes,
because
she
it's
did.
Like,
and
didn't they see something going on here?
They but they bring that up in the ending. I think we're jumping ahead, but we'll get to that, because
we're just jumping between stuff, and we do. So basically a very weird situation appears, because she's been at the university for a long time. There's a party night. She leaves the party, and suddenly her sister comes to her room, or whatever. Like, they end up in the same room, and they start fighting about something. And accidentally, her sister is trying to drag a scissor out of her hand, and instead cuts off her finger. Like, she cuts off her sister's finger. And their dog immediately runs up to it and starts licking her finger, and her sister faints from this. And you get this really weird feeling that something is going to be very wrong very soon. Like, something is gonna happen.
It's a very tense feeling from this scene, and I think it's a lot about the photography, because they are very close to the characters and stuff, and then suddenly very far apart, because they want to symbolize that this is so far from my natural, like,
her natural self.
Yeah.
But, well, I think like you're getting also at, like, they're showing something that she does really bizarre, and so away from our normal life.
Yeah.
Something that maybe, have been done in The Shining, you get this enormous transition into like insanity or whatever.
Yeah. And suddenly it feels normal.
Yeah.
Like, I can figure why you would do that.
Yeah, and this movie does it really good, because you don't just like are like kinda okay, kinda disgusted. No. You have like sympathy. You have sympathy for her.
Which is the weirdest thing, like, because you have sympathy for her in the beginning of being an uncomfortable uni student who's just trying to be a cool person of the gang and not succeeding very well, because she doesn't drink a lot and she doesn't party a lot and stuff like that. And then suddenly when she starts doing weird stuff, you go like, hey, I get that. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry this happened to you. Or
the video, when she saw the video of herself at the party.
Yeah.
That was super.
Because she is getting like someone is either drugging her or getting her super drunk at one party. And then she goes insane and she starts acting like an animal.
Yeah.
And someone is filming this, and when she's sober, her boyfriend at the time, or the guy she's dating at university, shows her this video, and she goes insane and like, why didn't you stop me? Why didn't you pull me away from there? And everyone is like, this is fucked up, this is funny, and laughing at it, but at the same time they can't see what's happening for real though.
Yeah, they just think that she's weird, and that's like, I don't know, maybe that's the way she's like succeeding with this conversion, without overstepping it and still having it entertaining. Because it's like you don't feel like, oh, this is just taking long and they're showing this because to get to that or something like that. It's
they're leading you through a process of evolving, basically. It's like if you would see like someone turning into a werewolf or something like that, but this is someone turning into something that they don't want to be and don't know that they are. Yeah,
like she goes from, you know, the protagonist that you think is in a way like or the victim, to being the fucking serial killer, you know, well, not, she's not a serial killer, but you understand what I mean. One of
the scenes that hit me the most is basically like, all of this has happened and even her boyfriend or the guy she's dating or whatever knows that she's having some weird things going on and that she's not feeling very well and something like that. And then suddenly they cut to a morning when she wakes up and she tries to wake him up and he's not waking up, and she goes like, what the hell is happening? And when she pulls the blanket off, she basically chewed his entire leg off. And
with her sister, or what did her sister did something.
I don't think her sister did something there. I think she
was like, she was in the room around the corner. But whatever.
I think she just saw her and, you know, like, hey, this is escalating or something.
But yeah, so I don't.
But it has reached a point where she's suddenly killing people.
Yeah, it went like to another, and I think the next scene after that is actually like them going back to the road. And doing, you know, the first like the first scene thing. Which is like really confusing, and let's get to that, because that's one of the points that I love. Like it's really in right now, or it feels like a meta for movies to really use themselves, like they use like this confusion, building a confusion of you're not necessarily know what's going on. You just get interested by what the fuck, why is this happening? Because this is so weird, this is absurd. Or why am I seeing this picture, like this slow ass picture, someone walking beside the road, they hide, and then a car comes, they jump in front. Well, is she trying to kill herself? No. We get to know that, you know, but like using that confusion and just the complexity of this movie and how beautiful it is. I wanted to ask you, what do you think the budget is? If you don't know already.
I don't know, actually. I have not. But I would actually see, or I can imagine that this is maybe not low budget movie, but it's sort of an indie or something, like, because since it's her first movie, I can't imagine a production company would go in with millions or something. But I'm also having a hard time see that it's a super low budget.
So where do you stand on this? Because you need to understand, because it's, I don't know if it was shown internationally.
It was, but not in cinemas. It was shown in film festivals
and stuff. But it had a distribution. At least like Blu-ray and DVD, which might have come like after the fact that it was so popular. But it had that, so have that in mind. You know, because it had some money.
It had money. I don't know. Are we talking euros, dollars?
Well, I have it in euros, but it's pretty close to dollars, so. It's a French movie.
1 million euros?
1 million euros. It's actually 3.5. Which I would say is...
That is a kind of a big budget, though.
It's kind of big budget.
That's an insane budget for a first movie.
Yeah, and for a European movie as well. Because I would see that as it's clearly like an indie budget. If you if you go to the US, right?
Yes.
Because they have like the indie in Hollywood is between 1 and 10 million.
Yeah.
That's like the indie. And then you have the indie or whatever, which is everything underneath 1 million, I guess.
Yeah.
So for being an indie, and just comparing it to whatever Hollywood is doing, I think this movie is like deserve the money at least. It really deserved the money.
Yeah. They made a very complex story.
Deep.
Yeah, very complex really story, but also
if you see it again, you know.
Yes, but also watchable for anyone with the guts. Haha, pun intended. But no. No, but like for any person who is not like disgusted by this kind of theme, anyone could watch this and actually maybe not be amused or maybe not be entertained that way or whatever, but could understand it. Like, it's not a movie that is towards just one kind of viewer.
But you know, I have a hard time putting this movie down as horror.
It's not horror.
Yeah,
for me, it's more thriller-like.
Well,
even
thriller, or maybe a
more
bit
psychological thriller.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
But you know, the problem with, because this is gory, you know, but I don't see it as gory. I see it as they use this not to scare you. They use this to show the insanity.
They use this to show that there are people in this world.
The absurdity of it, you know?
Yeah, but also like because they don't show you in a way that makes you feel like, oh my god, the entire world is insane. It's like there are people in this world who are very sick without knowing it.
Exactly.
Basically.
And a fun thing about the gory stuff, Julia.
Yeah.
I keep like that last name is so hard. So let's call her Julia for now.
Sure.
Which is like, I guess one of the only female directors that I actually know of and I enjoy, like like think of as like really knows her shit. When she was 6 years old, she saw or Texas Chainsaw by mistake. And
that does it.
Yeah, that does it basically. And from that, like, I guess she loved the gory.
I guess she loved the Chainsaw Massacre.
Maybe. Well, I guess she that did something, you know. But I still think that she didn't go all the way because it's not scary. At least for me.
Yeah, no.
And this movie is doing something that I really like. And that I think I want to use as well. Just storytelling. In a way, you know, it's somewhere between fiction and something that is beyond fiction, you know, because it's really absurd. But you still have this film world that this might be happening in our world as well.
Yeah.
It's really absurd, but it's showing you something that might be in reality.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is maybe like, is that something you also want to use? Because I feel like you are more going towards like a alternative maybe world where it's symbolic towards the real world.
As a filmmaker or as an artist, to be very presumptuous, I think that one of my main focuses is showing people and what choices they make and what consequences it has. And then I have developed some sort of mixed genre thing where I usually say that I never write fantasy, ever. Used to when I was younger, but never ever more. But like today I use a drama genre with influences from magical reality, basically. That's like you say, a lot of things are symbolic. A lot of things has a meaning, even like stuff in the background, even numbers on like alarm clocks has a meaning. Like I'm super into the symbolism of stuff. And therefore there's a part of this movie that I'm very interested in because they talk a lot about like animals, they talk about their genetics, they talk about everything that makes us us, and also animals, like how our systems work and how our bodies work and stuff like that. And this is a spoiler, so spoiler alert, but
I think we've already spoiled.
I think we've spoiled a lot, but this is the end, so in the end, I think her sister and she is at her parents' house. And
I remember the thing with the father.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I think she was
but
there.
I don't remember who's in the house.
Yeah.
So I think that they're at their parents' house, and all of this shit has happened. Her sister has been like eaten in a few weird ways and stuff, and we've realized that the sister is also having cannibalistic behaviors, and they start talking about this in the family, like as in the first time they're mentioning this. And when the mother suddenly, I think she gets upset and walks out of the room, and they're like, what?
And you don't know why.
No, it's like, what is this about? And then their father is taking his shirt off and showing large bite marks, massive like scars and stuff like that, and you realize that the mother is probably the main cannibal, which also makes a very interesting touch, because they've only chosen women to be this like kind of predator monster thing.
What do you have an idea of why that would be a thing?
I think it's a mix of different things. Like if I want to analyze it, I could say that it's because like it's that the meaning is to make women a threat, or it's supposed to make women
maybe the protagonist
in a
way.
The protagonist, but the strong hunting, like basically mixing sexes or whatever. I think I've said or whatever a million times now. I'm sorry.
No, I really didn't notice that, but maybe, I don't know. I'll hear this later.
You'll hear
I'll
this
see.
in the edit.
But I think it might be that, because we also have a female director, so she might be trying to make a point in a way.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this could have worked as good if
it would have been boys.
Yeah.
No, this would have looked like a bad vampire movie.
Exactly.
I've thought about this a lot.
Yeah.
Like it would have been a reversed, more serious Twilight if we would have put the boys in the same situation in this movie.
Yeah.
It makes it so much like creepier in some way. That there is this, like, especially because of the main character, of her being so fragile and so like tiny and not violent at all, and suddenly turning into this monster, but still being afraid of herself and what's happening to her.
It really helps that sympathy point.
Yeah.
Because she has a very sympathetic, or
you want to be sympathetic. You want her to have your sympathy.
Yeah, and with if we had a small vegetarian boy, that maybe is like nerdy or something.
Yeah,
it wouldn't. I don't think it would have worked.
It wouldn't have had the same power.
No.
Like this has a power. This is hitting you in the face because you're not prepared for what's coming. Like even if you would know going in what kind of movie this is, you're not prepared.
And like his brother would be like a douche.
Yeah.
And like her sister is
just
like,
a douche. Like her sister is just like cool, a rebel, cool, like bitchy kind of person.
Yeah.
But this, like you say, if this guy would have been guys, it would be a nerdy like little brother and a douche BS brother being assholes. Like,
and then it makes also sense with her mother, because you would say like, okay, maybe it's in the DNA.
Yeah.
Know?
Probably.
That's probably why they tried like a vegetarian diet to not
to not trigger the children
exactly. to have it, but
their natural senses.
It did. And it's that bunny liver.
Yeah, and that one bunny liver makes you go down the hill.
Fucking bunny.
No, but I also figure it being so like genius, taking it that direction. Like saying that we're doing this like a family thing, because I think that if there's one thing that's scary in this movie, that's the part, like, at the end,
that it's
realizing
actually bigger than her.
Yeah, but also, like, for me, it instantly takes my mind to how many things that could be genetical. Like, if you are the child of a murderer, will you automatically have the thoughts that you could kill someone and not feel like guilty for, or like if you, like, we've talked for many years in media about whether rapists or murderers are also like genetical thoughts, like alcoholism could be genetical, and if your mother used drugs while she was pregnant with you, you will have a easier to fall into drugs, like stuff like that. That there are so many things that are weird with people, and if this is also genetical, we can keep breeding weird people, like with
and there's also like a lot of things that, you know, if you're let's say, like, I don't know what the actual gene was,
no,
but I think it was like high blood pressure. So if you get like high blood pressure because of maybe not working out enough, or like something that was not in your DNA, it will be like transferred. It can be like started by you. I think it's that with people that,
which
like,
says a lot about our bodies,
you know, super duper fat, that their kids will have like an easier way to get like super fat as well. And that's crazy. But it's a really good way to get into that, you know. I think you could do something more with it. Like,
this film is opening
absurd,
up for a lot of discussions about genetics.
Yeah, which we talked about another movie that did that, right?
Yes.
I mean, in Huns. We did talk about it, right?
We did.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
That was our first movie.
It's so it's not out of my ass, you know.
No, you're not bringing it.
No, please, not out of your ass, please. Okay, so last words, if you wanna say something about the entirety of the movie.
If you have the guts, watch it.
I think people should watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think they should watch it, and also, I think it's a super interesting first movie for someone to make, and therefore I'm looking so much forward to see what she comes up with next.
She is working on something. I don't remember the name of it,
no,
but she is working on something that is in pre-production right now.
That's cool. Yeah. I'm looking forward to see what she's coming up with, because if she starts up with this, I figure that you're going up from here. Even. Exactly.
And her short film that won some award at Cannes, it's called Junior, if you want to see that as well. I think I want to...
It will end up in a review here later.
Yeah, I want to find it and watch it, because I just want to see like how it is, like, you know, what did she do there that she's doing here as well.
Yeah.
You know? But
and she traces. Like,
exactly. But this movie is like, I think of it as really original.
Yeah.
And come, become vegetarian, don't eat meat. You know, it's I think
this is propaganda?
Yeah, I think in a way people will watch this and be like, I should stop eating meat at all. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Which was a really good thing, you know, she's vegetarian and she's going into that school.
Yeah.
Which is, you could talk about that forever, but I think it's a super cool movie.
It is. You want to mention real quick what movie we're going to talk about next? Yeah, because this is very far from what we did this week, and I've intentionally chosen one of my weirdest favorite musicals of all time, because we haven't done a musical yet. No. So next week we're talking about Moulin Rouge. Yeah, which I'm really excited about. Yeah. About talking about this. Oh my god. Yeah. You were not prepared for this. Not really. Not really, okay? I can't say that I was. But thank you for this talk. And thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe, hit like, share stuff. I don't know. Next week we're talking about Moulin Rouge. It's going to be epic. Yeah. Bye.